Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to. Feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today. Let's begin on our backs. You can come into a symmetrical, relaxed position. Go ahead and spread out. And either close your eyes or take a soft gaze up towards the ceiling. Letting the weight of your body release back into the support underneath you. Come into a nice slow rhythm with your breath. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you. Let's begin by sliding arms overhead, stretching out through the arms and legs nice and long. And then interlace your fingers, press out through your palms, flex your feet, reaching through the heels of your hands, the heels of your feet. And then release. Bring your right knee to your chest. Give that knee a good squeeze in. And straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling, holding somewhere behind your leg. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Release, bend your knee in, open your knee out to the right, and straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the left leg. And then release, bend your knee, bring it across your body. Come into a spinal twist, feeling what's here. Staying in your twist, try straightening your right leg on a low diagonal, right arm on a high diagonal, letting fingers and toes reach away from one another. And then release, roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in, take a little circle or rock with your knees. Grab hold of just the left knee, drop the right leg long. Squeeze this knee in close. Straighten this leg up. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Bend your knee back in, open your knee out to the left, and straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of your right leg. Let's release, bend the knee, bring it across, spinal twist. First with a bent knee. And then straighten the left leg on a low diagonal, left arm on a high diagonal. Let's release, roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in, another little circle or rock. And then roll your way up to sitting. Let's come into a comfortable cross-legged position. If you want to sit up on something, you might grab a blanket or cushion or block. We'll come into eagle arms. Bring one elbow on top of the other. And if you can, get the palms together. If you can't reach elbow on top of elbow, you could just grab around or instead interlace fingers. But put some pressure between your arms so that you spread between the shoulder blades. And you can think about spreading the rib cage. And you're welcome to move around within the pose. Notice which arm is on top and then gently release through swings. And then bring the other arm on top. Again, pressure between the arms, spreading the upper back, spreading the rib cage. And then release. A couple gentle swings. Let's bring the hands to the floor behind us, fingers facing forward. Roll your shoulders back. Roll your elbows back. And then puff up the chest. Take it as high as you can. Big upper back arch. And release. Come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees. Drop your chin. Roll your way back up. Let's recross the legs. The other leg is in front or on top. Sitting tall. Drop your right ear over to right shoulder. Press down through the left shoulder, stretching left side of the neck. And you might lift or lower your chin, exploring the sensation, finding what's interesting or useful for you. And then rotate your chin to your chest. Come over to the other side. Both shoulders drop, but now a little bit more through the right side. Let's release chin to chest. Come over to the first side and then go back and forth a few times. Half circles or 3/4 circles. Watching the sensation move from one side over to the other. And next time your chin is to your chest, stay there. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Let your elbows hang down, stretching the back of the neck. And then release the arms, head floats back up. Bring hands to the floor behind us. Again, shoulders roll back, elbows roll back. Lift the heart. And release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Let's roll our way back up. Let's come forward onto hands and knees, tabletop. If you want to pad your knees, you can grab a blanket or cushion. Spread your fingers, taking weight into the whole hand so it's not just going down through the wrist. We'll take a few rolls through the spine, starting by lifting the head and tail, arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Now inhale, arch. From here, shift your weight forward, bend your elbows straight back and dip part way or all the way to the floor. Press up from here. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down. Press up, round, arch. One more time, dip down. Press up, round, and then sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor, letting go. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left, and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Let's come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a little bit more. And then back to center. Let's come up through table and into a downward facing dog. If down dog is not working for you, you can stay in a child's pose or tabletop, or do this on your forearms or your knees. Modify how it works for you. If you are in down dog, feel around. How is this now? Do you want to pedal out your feet a little bit or shift your hips side to side? From down dog or wherever you are now, let's come into a pigeon pose, right side. Slide the right knee forward. Scoot back through the left leg. Help the hips get as low as they'll go, and you might play around with the angle of your front leg. You might use props, put something under the right hip or chest or forehead. Settling towards the floor, releasing into the support underneath you. Let's bring the upper body back up. If you have something under your hip, you can slide it out of your way. So you can lean to the right, swing the back leg around to the front. Let's lean to the left, and then send the right leg back, making your way to pigeon pose on the other side. And you may need to adjust the angle of the front leg, your props. You can start with what has worked in the past, what you've been taught, but then still being interested in the real-time feedback your body's giving you. What are you noticing right here, right now? If you shift your weight, if you change the angle of the front leg, if you do anything different, it's going to feel different. So through trial and error, we can learn how to take care of our bodies, how to do each of these poses optimally for this body right now. Bring the upper body back up. If you have something under your hip, move it out of your way so that you can lean to the left. This time bring your right foot to the outside of the left knee for a seated spinal twist. You're welcome to do this with the bottom leg straight or bent. Try and have both sit bones grounded, sit tall. We'll bring the right hand to the floor behind us. Left arm can hug the knee or hook to the outside of the knee. As you inhale, sit a little taller. As you exhale, rotate even more, looking back over your shoulder. One more breath. And let's release, unwind, and switch. Bottom leg can be straight or bent. Left hand to the floor behind you. Right arm hugs or hooks. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist. Breath by breath. Seeing what's possible. Bringing newness to something that may be very familiar. Last breath here. Let's release, unwind. And we're going to come onto our backs and get set up for a supported bridge. Props are useful for this. If you have yoga blocks, that's ideal. You can use lots of other things. You might look around your room, see what you've got. You're going to place something under the sacrum, a little lower than the lower back. And you can play around with the height and firmness, finding something that suits you now. And then let your hips rest down on it. You might just stay here. This could be just right, settling into stillness. I'm going to suggest a hip flexor stretch, but you don't need to do it. So if you want to join me, I'm going to bring my right knee in, grab hold of it with one or both hands, and then straighten the left leg, the other leg, and let that straight left leg hang, opening up the front of the left hip. The more you hug your right knee in, the more you let that left leg hang, the more of an opening there can be in the front of the left hip. Let's release and switch. Left knee in, right leg long. Hug the left knee in close. Let that straight right leg release, especially the front of the hip crease. Softening, melting, whatever image works for you. And release. Bring both legs to neutral. So that could be both feet back to the floor, could be both knees in, or both legs straight, either up in the air or along the floor. And just a couple more breaths here, relaxing almost completely. So a little bit of tension or effort is necessary so you don't fall off your block, but stripping away to the bare minimum as if your legs were suspended or all the muscles were relaxed and the bones are just stacked on one another. Release when you're ready. Taking your block out of your way. And just check in with your body. Is there anything else you want to do to wrap up this practice? If there's a last pose or stretch that you would like to get in, take your time. If you want to keep practicing, you can, of course, do that at any time. I'm going to wind down this practice, but you can keep going. When you're ready, start getting your body comfortable for your final resting pose. So if you want to adjust your clothing or grab props or do a little self-massage, take your time getting settled. As much time as you need. Eventually settling into stillness. Letting go of the control of your breath. Letting the weight of your body just drop. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And eventually increasing this movement through your wrists and ankles, stretching out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in, roll to one side, and use your hands to help you up to sitting. And we'll bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.